Life in Paterson is interesting. There's days where they're great and you have this phenomenal like outdoor experience and you're playing with your friends and you're at the basketball courts and you have this day of just like fun. Then there's other days where you wake up in 5th grade and you hear like one of your classmates got shot or like ended up in a drive-by. Growing up in Paterson, navigating the streets, as much as great memories that I've had, all these athletic memories and winning championships in high school and things like that, there's also the same amount of like negative stories or negative energy that I felt throughout the years living in Paterson. And I remember that feeling, just wanting to do better, like wanting to be in a better place for my family.
Starring at wide receiver and defensive back for Paterson Catholic High School, Victor would earn All-State honors as a senior in 2003 and help lead his team to an undefeated season as they won the New Jersey Parochial Group 1 State Championship. After shining in the Garden State, Cruz would head north to New England, becoming the first person in his family to go to college as he enrolled at the University of Massachusetts. But striking a balance as a student athlete was a challenge for Victor, and he experienced some growing pains early on. Things would only get harder when his father passed away suddenly in 2006.
It was tough, mainly because you wish you just had spoken to him, you wish you just had that moment, that last moment with him, but I learned so much from him. Everyone loved him and like his personality, and I've always wanted to embody the things that he had and the things that he exuded, and that was kind of one of the biggest things I took from him. And I always try to be nice to everyone and be myself, but it was tough because he was the anchor. And then in that moment, I'm looking around and I'm like, man, I'm the man of the house now. Everybody's looking at me to just pick up the reins and carry this family forward. And I think mentally that shifted my perspective and my mentality, like, okay, I need to buckle down. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. But lo and behold, once I started to get the academic side of it squared away and kind of getting all that aligned, football was actually easy. Like I was out there, I knew what I was doing, I was confident, and I think that showed on the football field. It showed every weekend. My senior year was fun, probably the most fun year I had in college, and I was just excited to put my best foot forward. In this year, I have to go out here and prove and show who I am. So I'm making plays, I'm doing my thing. But obviously I was a realist. Like I had a good year, I made All-American, All-Conference, second team, all of that stuff. But I knew I was 6 foot, and I knew I was, more quick than fast. Like I knew who I was. I knew what type of receiver I was. I knew I wasn't DK Metcalf or 6'5", 230. I just wasn't that guy.
Victor Cruz, wide receiver for the UMass Minutemen. From Paterson, New Jersey, the 973.
Victor's dream of being selected in the 2010 NFL Draft would not come to fruition. But to his delight, the local NFL team, right down the road from where he grew up, offered him a tryout.
Right after the draft, I get a call from my agent, and he gave me my options. And without batting an eye, I was like the New York Giants. I just knew that trying my hand at being at home and playing for my hometown was an opportunity I couldn't let pass me by.
As an undrafted free agent, Victor Cruz joined the Giants in 2010. But in order to make the team, he would need to put his best foot forward, despite stiff competition at the wide receiver position.
I mean, you got guys that you grew up watching, like Hakeem Nicks, Mario Manningham, Norris Moss, Steve Smith, obviously. And you're just like, man, Steve Smith just had 100 catches last year. Like, these guys that are already proven in this league. And I remember being out the very first day on the football field, I ran a route and came back, and Steve Smith goes, man, Cruz, that's a name you don't see out here every day. So I remember hearing that and be like, okay, I got their attention, now it's time for me to turn their heads.
And Victor would do just that in the Giants' first preseason game against the hometown rival New York Jets.
It was Jim Sorgi at the time who was the quarterback in the game. And on my very first play, very first snap on offense, and I just knew he was gonna come to me. He'd been coming to me all week long in practice. So once the ball went up in the air and I looked, and the guy was kind of draped on me, and I just kind of reached one hand out there.
What a one-handed catch by Victor Cruz, and he's gonna score! 64 yards!
Hell of a play by that kid.
The kid from Paterson, New Jersey, a free agent out of UMass, scores in East Rutherford with a brilliant one-hand catch.
The secret is out on this kid now. He's been sort of a hush-hush, but you heard Jerry Reese talk about him knowing his way around the football field, and that's a big catch no matter who's guarding him.
This was the moment. This was the moment you needed to have, and I got up, and my brain just telling my entire body that you just made this football team. You're about to be a wide receiver in the NFL, you know? And then the second touchdown came, and then the third one, and I felt like I arrived, you know? That was the moment where I felt like I belong in this league and no one can tell me otherwise. And now I've set the foundation, I set the bar pretty high. How do I outdo myself after this? But I was excited about the foundation I set.
Cruz's amazing 3-touchdown performance against the Jets did indeed earn him a spot on the Giants roster. But his 2010 season was derailed by a hamstring injury, and he would have to wait until the opening game of the 2011 season against Washington to get another chance to prove his worth.
So the Giants will face the third down here. Manning out of the gun, throws it left, and it's dropped. Wide open for a first down was Victor Cruz, and he dropped it.
I dropped the football. Third down would have moved the chains, the whole thing.
One of the questions for the Giants in the offseason, who would replace the production of Steve Smith? That third receiver, that slot guy. Victor Cruz made the team, but he won't last for long with drops like that.
And then I didn't get in the rest of the game. So that had me scared that I was like, okay, this might be it.
But when Giants wide receiver Dominic Hickson suffered a season-ending injury in Week 2, Victor would get one more shot as Big Blue traveled down the turnpike to Philadelphia to face the Eagles in enemy territory.
Week 3 rolled around, and they're like, Vic, you have to start. And I was like, okay. Again, another opportunity, excited to start this opportunity, excited. This is like a clean slate. I remember from the very first play, Coach Gilbride was trying to get me the ball. So right when the ball is snapped, there's a blitz right off my head. So in that split second, I peek back and the ball's in the air already. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, boom, I catch the football.
Manning back to throw, zips one left, caught by Cruz, runs out of a tackle to the 40.
And now I'm going up the sideline. And I shake a tackler, so I make a move, and then he bid on the first move outside, and I come back inside.
Up to midfield, makes another man miss the 45, down the left sideline. There goes Cruz, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Giants, 74 yards.
And then the salsa was born in that exact moment, too.
And he does the salsa.
Well, our quarterbacks coach at the time, Coach Mike Sullivan, who's Mexican-American, he was telling me, man, you got to do this. Like, you got to represent your culture all week long. He's telling me, yo, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. And, you know, I shook 2 dudes out of their boots, and I'm going up the sideline. I'm like, there's no better time but to do this thing now. You know, we're in Philly. The fans are like, if they could throw things at me, they probably would in that moment. And I was like, I got to do this now. And obviously, channeling my grandmother who taught me how to dance salsa in the living room, and I thank her for that now because, you know, it developed into something organic that people love, and people still walk up to me dancing and things like that when they see me, which is incredible.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Giants. Manning back to throw. Has time. Deep ball toward the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown by Cruz. He took it away from 2 defenders. What a play by Victor Cruz, and the Giants have the lead back.
So to finish that game with 3 catches, over 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and now we can build on this, and I can actually be an asset to this football team and really, you know, take it to new heights.
And the New York Giants with an upset on the road against Michael Vick and the Eagles. 29-16 the final score.
With Victor Cruz emerging as a rising star in the NFL, Big Blue's wide receiving core of Cruz, Manningham, and Nix took center stage as one of the most dangerous trios in the league.
I just want to thank them because they didn't have to let me in. You know, they were, you know, first-round picks, second-round picks, guys that were highly touted for this organization, and then I come in, the undrafted guy, and, you know, do what I do. But for all of us to kind of show that humility and put the team before the individual, I think that was the recipe for us that entire year. Mario Manningham was a guy who was an outside threat that had moves on the outside and was a true outside receiver and catch the football and do many, many things. Hakeem Nicks stretches the field, whether it's with his legs, whether it's his moves at the line and extending and using those hands to catch any and everything thrown up to him. Obviously in the red zone, he was always a threat.
Touchdown Giants, Hakeem Nicks.
And then myself, working in the middle of the field, like, we were one of the best trios in the league. And Eli was incredible at finding that one-on-one receiver.
Manning back to throw, over the middle, completes it to the 10. That's Victor Cruz, and he spins off and into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow! And the Giants are going to win this one. Cruz rings throughout MetLife Stadium.
Okay, number 1 salsa dance in the league.
But after storming out to a record of 6-2, the Giants hit a slump losing 5 of their next 6. And in order to make the playoffs, they'd have to win their final 2 games of the season, starting with a Christmas Eve showdown against the hometown rival New York Jets.
You know, we were already excited. We knew what this game was all week long. We knew what was at stake, understanding that we had to win out and all those things. But game day, when them covering up our trophies on the wall and our mural, it hit different. It really showed us, like, okay, this is a different type of rivalry. And, we got to bring our A game today because we're not going to let this ride. This isn't okay. And we got out there on that football field. We put our best foot forward.
Manning back to throw. Looks, throws one to the right, completes it to the right for a first down, and running out of a tackle down the right sideline is Victor Cruz.
And then all I see is green grass, and I see the safety trying to take an angle to get me. And I was just like, man, if you think that I'm from Paterson, New Jersey, right? I done came all this way. If you think you're catching me right now, it's impossible.
Chased by Smith, hurdles over him, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Giants, 99 yards!
Once I got in the end zone, everybody always asked me why I threw that ball at the wall like that. There may or may not have been a Jets logo at that wall that I was trying to see if I could put a hole through it with the football. And I think that energy and that swagger peeled off to the rest of the team. And, we had Ahmad running people over, just a total team win.
Rat Giants on the 10, to the goal line, touchdown Giants! He ran through 3 Jets.
And one of the Jets he ran through is still on the ground. Wow.
Boom! Rodney Poole got knocked over.
Game over. That's a closer.
So the Giants have won their 5th in a row against the Jets, and they do it in fine fashion. 29-14. The NFC East Championship at stake tonight as the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys square off for NFC East supremacy.
We needed to win out to get to the playoffs. We knew this team was in our way in order for us to get there. And going into that game, we were clicking on all cylinders.
This is a 3rd and 1 at their own 26.
I remember getting my release and shaking out to the sideline, and Eli hitting me right in stride.
Throws it left. Cruz has got it. Down the left sideline he goes.
And I start going up the sideline, and I'm hitting it.
Across midfield to the 40, to the 30.
So as I'm running, I'm like, I kind of see myself running on the screen, and I look up, and I'm like, oh, I could see behind me here. Let me just keep looking at this because I can tell how far back they are if I just keep my eyes on the Jumbotron.
To the 20, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Victor Cruz! 74 yards, and he's done it again!
And it's going to be another tremendous moment in Giants history.
And they're celebrating in the aisles at MetLife Stadium. The New York Giants are the NFC East champions. 6 seconds to go. Manning back, steps up, heaves one down the middle of the field into the end zone, and Nix makes the catch for the touchdown! He went up with the big hands and caught it on the Hail Mary!
Literally every endorphin in my body just goes crazy because I've never witnessed a Hail Mary before in my life like that. To do it at the highest level in the playoffs for this moment, I just couldn't believe that our fate is driving us to the next level again.
The New York Giants have eliminated the number 1 seed Green Bay Packers.
The confidence we had at that point was just, you couldn't tell us nothing.
With Victor Cruz and the Giants steamrolling through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, the stage was set for a rematch in San Francisco at the NFC Championship game. The Giants had lost to the 49ers earlier in the season, a game in which Niners cornerback Carlos Rogers mocked Cruz, doing his salsa dance following an interception.
So coming into it, I was geeked up because obviously I got another crack at this team from earlier in the year, and I was just excited to just prove myself again and prove that I can be better than I was the first time around.
It's 3rd and 10 for the Giants at their own 16-yard line.
Well, 3rd downs always felt like my time. It always felt like this team needs to play. I want to be the one to make it.
Zips it over the middle. Cruz has it for a first down. So Victor Cruz, again on 3rd down, comes up clutch.
So that first half, me and Eli were just on the same page. We were just clicking, pass after pass. Each and every time my number was called, he was going to find me. I wanted every ball. I was determined.
Manning and Cruz are just playing flag football right now. They're playing absolute pitch and catch.
Pitch and catch. You're going to have to find a way to get Carlos Rogers some help on it. I know he's the Pro Bowl corner, and Cruz is just having his way with him right now.
Cruz at 112 yards on 7 catches already.
We knew what we needed to do in order for us to beat this team, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew it was going to take all 4 quarters, maybe overtime. And I remember going back and picking Eli up like many times, and I'm digging grass out of Eli's face mask, and I'm looking at Eli like, does he have anything left? Like, is he still there? Fourth quarter, he gets up, chin strap is on his eyeball, didn't bat an eye, pulled his chin strap down, buttoned it up, and he's still locked in, he's still focused.
3 rushers for the Niners. Manning back to throw. He zips one to the left of the end zone. Touchdown Giants. Mario Manningham.
That's what I'm talking about. I told you.
Weatherford takes the snap. Boots one, returnable for Williams from his own 20. Lost the ball, and the Giants say they have it. They do.
It was just sheer excitement, to be honest. Our special teams making the play, it was just indicative of everything that we've been seeing throughout that season.
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
I know.
We're gonna be all right.
Lawrence Tynes from 31 yards to put the Giants in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Kick on its way, it's got the distance, and it is good! And Lawrence Tynes has done it again. He's kicked the Giants to the second Super Bowl in 4 years.
We got a Super Bowl!
I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm just happy to have a chance, have an opportunity to play this game. Now I'm going to Super Bowl. Who would have thought it? It's crazy. Congratulations. It's crazy.
New York Giants football is on the air from high atop Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's the New York Football Giants and the New England Patriots, Super Bowl 46.
I'm about to play in the biggest game of my life, and this is what I dreamed of.
Super Bowl 46. Man, oh man. Try not to blink because I might miss something.
Cruz in a slot left. See if Manning audibilizes at the line.
The safety that played for the Patriots at the time, his name was James Ahedabu. And we played at UMass together. And I knew the one thing he wasn't good at was one-on-one coverage in a slot. So I hit him with an outside fake move to get inside, and he totally bit on it.
Takes the snap, back to throw. Throws one left.
As soon as my eyes got big and I kind of saw that ball, I just snatched it away.
Touchdown Giants, Victor Cruz on the slam.
And then obviously the salsa dance commenced. That one had a little bit more hip work because of the Super Bowl. That was a special one.
And he does the salsa.
I didn't have a touchdown all playoffs, but to have one in the Super Bowl was like, I'll take that one.
3:46 to go, 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning. We've seen something like this before, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
I do remember being double teamed on that play, but I was watching and see who's gonna get the one-on-one, and I saw Mario was gonna get the one-on-one, and I was like, well, Eli's gonna give him a shot.
Manning out of the shotgun set, and he's back to throw. Climbs the pocket, deep ball down the left sideline, and it's gonna be caught. Was he inbounds? Yes!
I remember watching the ball. It was a beautiful ball that kind of dropped right in the breadbasket, but the one thing you just wasn't sure of was the feet. And as I'm watching the replay, I'm in the huddle, and I'm like, catch, 1, 2.
Catch, right, left, yes, yes.
In every single big game, in every single Super Bowl, I don't care what it is, there's one play that changes the dynamic of the football game, and Mario Manningham had that play for us. That was the play. And then Ahmad, obviously, crouching tiger hitting Ahmad, jumping into the end zone right there.
Hand off Bradshaw, he runs up the middle, and he falls into the end zone for the touchdown. He thought about stopping.
And why not? Take the lead. You got 57 seconds to go. You got to trust your defense.
I was looking up at the clock like, man, that's a lot of time left. You know what I mean? Especially for Tom Brady, but if there's any defense that could hold up, it was ours.
One play away. I can't stay still. I can't stay still.
And now the Super Bowl is going to come down to a Hail Mary. Brady's back. Brady's under pressure. Brady's chased. Brady heaves one.
Then I look up and I look at the Jumbotron and I see the ball go up.
Down the middle of the field into the end zone, a jump ball, and it's incomplete. And the ball game's over. And the Giants have won Super Bowl 46.
Still will, the heart of the champion.
And I just remember running around that football field like a little kid, putting my both hands up in the air as a champion, and just being excited and happy at the fact that my family was here to see all of this. My mom.
We won the Super Bowl.
Holding the trophy, it was just all these memories would come back. That's what it was all about for me. The fact that I got to bring everybody else on this journey with me was a lot of fun.
Victor's breakout season in 2011 launched him into the pantheon of New York sports stars. He would play 5 more seasons with the Giants before retiring from the game of football in 2018, recording over 300 career receptions and 25 touchdowns. He will forever be one of the most beloved figures in Giants history.
Once you're part of the fabric of this football team, once you're part of the family atmosphere that you feel here, once you see the Super Bowl trophies and the historic nature of this organization, you're always a part of that. So when you hear the words, once a Giant, always a Giant, I'm living proof that that's the truest statement this organization has ever made.